The world was left in shock when Bruce Lee, a man who had become synonymous with martial arts and a global cultural icon, passed away suddenly on July 20th, 1973. His death was as enigmatic as his life was vibrant, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence martial arts, cinema, and popular culture to this day. Bruce Lee was more than just an actor or a martial artist. He was a symbol of strength, determination, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. His passing, therefore, was not merely the loss of a beloved public figure, but the extinguishing of a light that had inspired millions around the globe. Bruce Lee's life was a fascinating journey of overcoming obstacles and breaking down barriers. Born in San Francisco, but raised in Hong Kong, Lee was exposed to both Eastern and Western cultures, a combination that would later shape his unique philosophy and approach to martial arts. His early life was marked by street fights and trouble with the law, leading his parents to send him to the United States, where he could hopefully find a more positive direction in life. It was in America that Bruce Lee's journey into martial arts truly began. As a young man, Bruce Lee studied Wing Chun under the legendary Master Ip Man in Hong Kong. This experience had a profound impact on him, not just in terms of physical training, but also in understanding the philosophical depth of martial arts. Lee's dedication to Wing Chun laid the foundation for his later development of Jeet Kune Do, a martial arts philosophy and system that emphasized efficiency, directness, and adaptability. His teachings and films revolutionized how martial arts were perceived and practiced, influencing countless individuals and reshaping the global landscape of martial arts. Years after Bruce Lee's death, another martial arts icon, Jackie Chan, would rise to global fame. Chan, who had the opportunity to work with Lee during the filming of Enter the Dragon, has often spoken about the profound impact Lee had on his career. However, it is Chan's revelations about Lee's death that have sparked considerable interest and controversy. In various interviews, Chan has expressed deep sadness over Lee's passing, going so far as to shed tears while discussing it. Chan's emotional response was not just about the loss of a mentor and idol, but also about the unresolved questions surrounding Lee's death. Chan has publicly stated that the official explanation of Lee's death, a cerebral edema possibly caused by a reaction to a painkiller, does not align with the Bruce Lee he knew. According to Chan, Lee was in peak physical condition, meticulously attentive to his health, and unlikely to have been undone by something as seemingly benign as a prescription drug. This discrepancy has fueled numerous conspiracy theories, with some suggesting that Lee's death was the result of foul play. Chan himself has hinted that there were suspicious circumstances surrounding Lee's death, though he has never explicitly endorsed any specific theory. Before Bruce Lee became the international sensation known for films like The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, he was just a young man trying to find his place in the world. His early life in Hong Kong was turbulent, characterized by frequent street fights and a rebellious attitude that often got him into trouble. It was during these formative years that Lee first encountered martial arts, a discipline that would eventually become his life's calling. However, there was a time when Lee considered leaving martial arts behind altogether. As a teenager, Bruce Lee studied under Ip Man, one of the most respected Wing Chun masters in Hong Kong. The training was rigorous, and Lee quickly became one of Ip Man's most promising students. However, his interest in martial arts was not always unwavering. There were moments when the young Lee felt the pressure of societal expectations, which leaned more towards academic success and traditional career paths rather than the pursuit of martial arts. At one point, Lee even contemplated giving up martial arts entirely to focus on his education or pursue a different career. This period of doubt did not last long, as Lee's passion for martial arts eventually overpowered his reservations. His time spent training under Ip Man instilled in him not only a profound respect for the art of Wing Chun, but also a deeper understanding of the philosophical underpinnings of martial arts. These lessons would stay with Lee for the rest of his life, influencing his development of Jeet Kune Do and his approach to both martial arts and life in general. Bruce Lee's move to the United States in 1959 marked a significant turning point in his life. Sent by his parents to escape the trouble he had gotten into in Hong Kong, Lee arrived in Seattle with little more than a few dollars in his pocket and a burning desire to make something of himself. It was in America that Lee began to truly refine his martial arts skills and develop his unique philosophy. While studying at the University of Washington, Lee opened his first martial arts school, teaching Wing Chun to a diverse group of students. This was a bold move at the time, as martial arts were still largely unknown and unappreciated in the West. Lee's teaching style was revolutionary. He emphasized practicality and efficiency over tradition and formality, a philosophy that would later become the cornerstone of Jeet Kune Do. During this period, Lee faced significant challenges. As an Asian immigrant, he encountered racism and prejudice, which made it difficult for him to gain acceptance and recognition. Nevertheless, Lee's determination and charisma helped him to build a reputation as a formidable martial artist and teacher. His students were not just learning how to fight. They were learning a new way of thinking about combat, one that transcended the boundaries of traditional martial arts. Bruce Lee's entry into Hollywood was far from smooth. Despite his undeniable talent and magnetic screen presence, Lee struggled to land significant roles. The Hollywood of the 1960s was not particularly welcoming to Asian actors, and Lee often found himself typecast in minor, stereotypical roles. His most notable early role was as Kato in the television series The Green Hornet, but even this did not lead to the breakthrough Lee had hoped for. Frustrated by the lack of opportunities in Hollywood, Lee returned to Hong Kong, where he was already a well-known figure due to his childhood film career. It was here that Lee finally found the success that had eluded him in the United States. He starred in a series of martial arts films, including The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, which were not only box office hits, but also helped to redefine the genre. Lee's films were notable for their realistic fight scenes, dynamic choreography, and the way they incorporated elements of his Jeet Kune Do philosophy. Lee's success in Hong Kong eventually caught the attention of Hollywood, leading to his return to the United States and the production of Enter the Dragon. This film, which was released shortly after Lee's death, would go on to become one of the most iconic martial arts movies of all time, cementing Lee's status as a global superstar. Bruce Lee's sudden death at the age of 32 shocked the world and gave rise to numerous conspiracy theories. The official cause of death was listed as cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain, which was believed to have been triggered by an adverse reaction to a painkiller he had taken for a headache. However, many of Lee's fans and colleagues, including Jackie Chan, have expressed doubts about this explanation. One of the most persistent theories is that Lee was poisoned, either by someone close to him or by a rival within the martial arts community. This theory is fueled by the fact that Lee was reportedly in perfect health in the days leading up to his death and had shown no signs of illness. Furthermore, some have pointed to the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death, such as the decision not to conduct a thorough autopsy, as evidence that something was being covered up. Another theory suggests that Lee's death was the result of overtraining and exhaustion. Lee was known for pushing his body to its limits, often engaging in grueling workouts that left him physically drained. Some have speculated that his intense training regimen, combined with the stress of his career, may have contributed to his sudden death. Despite the many theories, the true cause of Bruce Lee's death remains a mystery. What is clear, however, is that his passing left a void in the world of martial arts and cinema that has never been filled. Lee's influence continues to be felt today, not just through his films and teachings, but also through the countless martial artists and actors who have been inspired by his example. Jackie Chan's tears when speaking about Bruce Lee's death are a testament to the profound impact that Lee had on those who knew him. For Chan, who was just starting out in his career when he had the opportunity to work with Lee, the loss was deeply personal. Chan has often credited Lee with inspiring him to pursue a career in martial arts films, and the two shared a bond that went beyond their professional relationship. In interviews, Chan has spoken about the kindness and generosity that Lee showed him during the filming of Enter the Dragon. Despite being the biggest star on set, Lee took the time to mentor Chan, offering him advice and guidance that would shape his career for years to come. Chan's admiration for Lee was evident in the way he spoke about him, and the pain of his loss was still palpable decades later. In the years following Lee's death, Jackie Chan has revisited these emotions numerous times, emphasizing that there were aspects of Lee's passing that never sat right with him. Chan's own rise to stardom came in the shadow of Bruce Lee, and it is perhaps this connection that deepens his sense of loss and suspicion. Chan has implied that the version of events presented to the public may have been a convenient narrative rather than the full truth. The absence of a comprehensive autopsy and the hurried nature of the official announcements surrounding Lee's death have only added to the mystique. The death of Bruce Lee sent shockwaves through the martial arts community worldwide. Lee was not just a practitioner, but a revolutionary force in martial arts. His philosophy of Jeet Kune Do challenged traditional martial arts, promoting a form that was free from the rigid structures of classical styles. Lee believed in using no way as way, which encouraged adaptability and efficiency over adherence to any single discipline. His death left many in the martial arts community searching for answers and grappling with the loss of someone who was more than just a teacher or a movie star. He was an innovator, a thinker, and a symbol of what martial arts could become. The mystery surrounding his death has also led to a proliferation of stories and myths, with some claiming that Lee had discovered a secret that led to his demise, while others suggest that he was targeted because of his desire to teach martial arts to non-Chinese students. These theories, though unsubstantiated, reflect the deep sense of loss and the need to find meaning in the death of such a transformative figure. Though his life was cut tragically short, Bruce Lee's legacy has continued to grow. His films, teachings, and philosophy have had a lasting impact not just on martial arts, but on global culture. Lee's approach to martial arts has influenced countless practitioners around the world. His insistence on adaptability and practicality in combat has resonated with those looking to move beyond traditional martial arts forms. Moreover, his films introduced a new type of action hero, one that was not only physically powerful, but also deeply philosophical. Lee's influence extends beyond the world of martial arts. He has become a cultural icon, representing the breaking of racial barriers in Hollywood. At a time when Asian actors were often relegated to minor roles, Lee proved that they could lead major films and gain international acclaim. His success helped pave the way for future generations of Asian actors and filmmakers. Even decades after his death, the questions surrounding Bruce Lee's passing remain unresolved. Some believe that the official explanation of a cerebral edema triggered by a painkiller is sufficient, while others continue to doubt this account. Jackie Chan's emotional reflections and his suggestion that the death of Bruce Lee was not what you've been told continue to stir the pot, keeping the mystery alive. What is undeniable, however, is the impact that Bruce Lee's life and death have had on the world. His films remain classics, his teachings are studied by martial artists everywhere, and his philosophy continues to inspire those who seek to push beyond the limitations imposed by traditional thinking. The loss of Bruce Lee was indeed a tragedy, not just because of the mysterious circumstances, but because of the immense potential that was lost. Lee was a man in the prime of his life, on the brink of what could have been an even more extraordinary career. The thought of what Bruce Lee could have accomplished had he lived longer haunts not only those who knew him, but also the millions of fans who admired him. Bruce Lee's death at such a young age was a devastating blow to the world. It robbed us of a man who had only begun to show what he was capable of achieving. For Jackie Chan and many others who followed in his footsteps, the loss was personal and profound. The lingering doubts and unresolved questions only add to the tragedy, leaving a sense of something unfinished. Yet, even in his absence, Bruce Lee's presence is felt. His teachings continue to challenge and inspire, his films continue to thrill and entertain, and his philosophy continues to push people to look beyond the surface and seek deeper truths. Perhaps that is why his death remains such a source of fascination and sorrow. The world lost more than just a martial artist or a movie star. It lost a visionary who, in just a few short years, changed the way we think about martial arts, cinema, and what it means to truly live. As we reflect on Bruce Lee's life and the mysterious circumstances of his death, we are reminded that legends, by their very nature, never die. They live on in the stories we tell, the ideals we strive for, and the mysteries that remain unsolved. Bruce Lee, the Dragon, continues to soar above us, his legacy unshaken by time, his spirit indomitable, his story unfinished. Bruce Lee's impact cannot be measured solely by his films or his martial arts prowess. His philosophy, encapsulated in his famous saying, "Be like water," transcended physical combat and became a guiding principle for living life. Lee's approach was about adaptability, flow, and resilience, qualities that resonate deeply with anyone striving to overcome obstacles, whether in martial arts, personal development, or any other aspect of life. This philosophy has found its way into countless facets of culture and life. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and thinkers across the globe have drawn inspiration from Lee's teachings, applying his principles to their own challenges. His emphasis on personal growth, constant learning, and breaking free from the confines of rigid thinking has become a universal message, encouraging people to push beyond their limitations and explore their full potential. Beyond the realm of martial arts and philosophy, Bruce Lee also stands as a powerful symbol of breaking racial and cultural barriers. In a time when Hollywood was rife with stereotypes and limited roles for Asian actors, Lee shattered these boundaries with sheer talent and determination. His success opened doors for future generations of actors of Asian descent, proving that they could be leading men and women, heroes, and icons in their own right. Bruce Lee's influence on cinema is undeniable. He redefined the action genre, introducing a level of authenticity and intensity that had never been seen before. His fight choreography, which blended realism with dramatic flair, set a new standard for action films and has influenced countless filmmakers and actors. Directors and actors today continue to pay homage to Lee in their work, acknowledging the debt they owe to the man who changed the way action cinema is made. For Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee was more than just an icon. He was a mentor and a beacon of what was possible. Chan's reflections on Lee's death reveal a deep-seated respect and admiration for the man who helped shape his own career. Chan has often spoken about how Lee's success in Hollywood gave him hope that he, too, could achieve greatness on the global stage. Working alongside Lee on Enter the Dragon was a pivotal experience for Chan. He witnessed firsthand Lee's dedication, his meticulous attention to detail, and his relentless pursuit of perfection. These lessons stayed with Chan throughout his career, influencing his own work ethic and approach to filmmaking. Chan's unique style, combining martial arts with comedy and death-defying stunts, may differ from Lee's, but the influence is unmistakable. Chan often credits Lee for inspiring him to push the boundaries of what was possible in action cinema. As the years have passed, the questions surrounding Bruce Lee's death have not dissipated. Instead, they have only grown more complex and entangled with the myths and legends that have sprung up around his life. The lack of a definitive explanation has led many to speculate about what really happened on that fateful day in 1973. Some suggest that Lee's death was the result of a conspiracy, perhaps involving those who were threatened by his growing influence in both the East and the West. Others believe that his death was an accident, a tragic consequence of the intense physical and mental pressures he placed on himself. Still, others propose more esoteric theories, invoking ancient curses or supernatural elements, reflecting the almost mythical status Lee has attained. What remains certain is that the truth, whatever it may be, is shrouded in mystery. The official records offer one version of events, but the doubts expressed by those who knew him, like Jackie Chan, keep the door open to alternative explanations. These mysteries only add to the allure of Bruce Lee, making his story one of the most intriguing in modern history. Despite his untimely death, Bruce Lee's influence shows no signs of fading. New generations continue to discover his films, his teachings, and his philosophy. Martial artists around the world study his techniques, while others apply his principles to different areas of life, from business to personal development. Lee's legacy is also kept alive through his family, particularly his daughter Shannon Lee, who has dedicated herself to preserving and promoting her father's teachings. The Bruce Lee Foundation, which she leads, works to share his philosophy and principles with people of all ages, emphasizing the importance of personal growth, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence. Moreover, in popular culture, Bruce Lee continues to be a source of inspiration. Films, books, documentaries, and even video games frequently reference or feature Lee, ensuring that his image and ideals remain a part of the cultural conversation. His likeness is instantly recognizable, his story known to millions, and his impact felt across the globe. Bruce Lee's life, though tragically cut short, is a story of triumph, innovation, and enduring influence. His death remains an unsolved puzzle, a source of endless speculation and intrigue. For those like Jackie Chan who knew him personally, the loss is still felt deeply, a reminder of a man who was more than just a martial artist or a movie star. He was a revolutionary thinker, a cultural ambassador, and a beacon of possibility. Bruce Lee's absence has been felt deeply not just by his family and close friends, but by the countless people who admired him from afar. The void left by his passing is more than just a gap in the martial arts community. It represents the loss of a visionary whose ideas could have reshaped not just martial arts, but the broader cultural landscape. The what-ifs surrounding Bruce Lee's potential future accomplishments continue to haunt those who wonder what heights he might have reached had he lived longer. The ripple effect of his death can be seen in the paths taken by those who followed in his footsteps. Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, and others who emerged in the wake of Lee's success have all, in their own ways, carried forward the legacy that Lee established. Each of them has acknowledged the towering influence that Bruce Lee had on their careers, even as they carved out their own niches in the world of martial arts cinema. Yet, despite their successes, there remains a pervasive sense that no one has fully filled the space that Bruce Lee once occupied. The global spread of martial arts can be traced back, in large part, to Bruce Lee's influence. Before Lee, martial arts were often viewed in the West as an exotic, niche interest. Lee's films, which showcased the beauty and effectiveness of martial arts, played a pivotal role in changing this perception. Through his movies, millions were introduced to the world of martial arts, sparking interest and participation on an unprecedented scale. In the decades following his death, martial arts schools sprung up across the globe, with many instructors citing Bruce Lee as their initial inspiration. The diversity of styles now practiced, from traditional forms like karate and taekwondo to mixed martial arts, MMA, reflects Lee's own belief in the importance of being adaptable and open to different techniques. The MMA movement, in particular, owes a significant debt to Lee, who was one of the earliest advocates for blending different martial arts styles to create a more effective form of combat. Bruce Lee's impact on martial arts is not limited to the physical aspect of the discipline. His philosophical approach, which emphasized the importance of mental and spiritual growth alongside physical development, has been integrated into the teaching methodologies of many martial arts schools. This holistic approach, which Lee so passionately advocated, continues to influence the way martial arts are taught and practiced today. For Bruce Lee's family, the pain of his loss is a private and enduring sorrow. Linda Lee Cadwell, Bruce's widow, and Shannon Lee, his daughter, have both spoken of the immense void that his death left in their lives. While the world mourns the loss of a legend, for them, it is the loss of a husband and father, a personal tragedy that is intertwined with the public's fascination with Bruce Lee's life and death. In the years following Bruce's passing, Linda and Shannon have worked tirelessly to protect and preserve his legacy. They have faced the dual challenge of coping with their grief while also managing the public's insatiable interest in every detail of Bruce Lee's life. Their efforts have included the establishment of the Bruce Lee Foundation, which promotes his philosophy and teachings, and the publication of books that offer insights into his life and thoughts. Despite the ongoing speculation and theories about Bruce Lee's death, his family has chosen to focus on celebrating his life and contributions rather than dwelling on the circumstances of his passing. However, the pain of losing him in such an unexpected and sudden manner is something that, as Shannon Lee has often mentioned, never truly fades. It is a reminder of the fragility of life, even for someone who seemed as indomitable as Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's influence permeates popular culture in ways that go far beyond martial arts films. His image and philosophy have been referenced in countless forms of media, from music and literature to video games and fashion.